The Sacred Book. The king of Chandanpur died suddenly without leaving any successor. Several kinsmen of the king aspired to get the throne. However, a young man, Suryakant, ultimately occupied it through the help of Shekar Sharma, the royal priest. The rival candidates did not take it lying down. They conspired against Suryakant and even tried to kill him. But Suryakant was brave and clever. He was also popular. With Shekar Sharma's guidance, he managed to outwit his rivals one by one. Some fled the kingdom, a few who plotted against Suryakant's life were imprisoned. Soon there was peace in the kingdom. Shekar Sharma was widely respected. On an auspicious day, he presented the new king with a book and said, I have written this as directed by God. This contains the code of conduct which you and your successor should follow in ruling the kingdom. You will be a sinner before God if you do anything violating the principles laid down in this book. King Suryakant received the sacred book with humility. He studied it thoroughly and modeled his government according to the ideals put forth in the book. He was respected by all as a man of principles. Suryakant died when his son Chandrakant was in his late teens. Chandrakant ascended the throne. By then, Shekar Sharma had grown quite old and was leading a retired life. The new king had as his priest and chief advisor Praveen, Shekar Sharma's son. One day, while hunting, Chandrakant unwittingly killed a man. The sacred book prescribed equal punishment for all, king or the commoners. For his crime through negligence, the king was to be imprisoned for 10 years. But Praveen loved the new king too much to let him be punished. He met Shekar Sharma and said, Father, if the book was written at God's direction, tell me how to please God and change the law with his approval. Fool! I had resorted to God's name so that the book is considered inviolable. Otherwise, a king would turn a tyrant, replied Shekar Sharma. This confession emboldened Praveen to declare that God had directed him to add a new principle in the sacred book. According to that, the law cannot apply to the king and the commoner in the same way. The king who has great responsibilities has to be above the ordinary law. Thus was Chandrakant's spared punishment. A few years passed. The commander of the army killed the king through a treacherous conspiracy and occupied the throne. Praveen was deeply aggrieved at his dear friend Chandrakant's murder. Soon the usurper summoned Praveen and demanded his allegiance. But Praveen told him to his face, You are a murderer, you should be punished with death. But being the king, I am above law, replied the usurper. You were not the king when you killed Chandrakant, retorted Praveen. Right, that is why I want your help. Add a new principle in the sacred book saying that once one had become the king, he was free from the consequence of all he might have done before, demanded the usurper. I will never do that, blurted out Praveen. In that case, you die, said the usurper sternly, brandishing his sword. Praveen stood speechless. He realized the gravity of the situation and announced the addition of a new principle in the sacred book. But the usurper soon proved a great tyrant. Praveen secretly mobilized the people against him. At last there was a mass rebellion in the kingdom and the usurper was killed. A new king was chosen by the leading citizens. I declare that the sacred book is cancelled. Henceforth the king should govern the land according to the advice of the experts and the wish of the people, announced Praveen. Please like, share and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Do provide your feedback in the comment section below. Thanks for listening.